Hello. Yes, today is the seventh day of the cleanse and things do come up. But first, I'd like to touch upon what I mentioned earlier, the crystal activations. We talked about this magic box that the Pleiadians have brought to Uluru, which contains crystals that need to be activated. So I don't know how that needs to be done, but I'll share what I do know about activating crystals. And it happens through consciousness. It happens, you need to have the right consciousness to be able to do it. Now, we know that we can transfer thoughts. We also know that crystals store information because crystals is what we use in our computers to store information. And with the computer, it's the computer that accesses this information. But in this case, it's consciousness that needs to activate the information. So when we, for example, have crystal skulls, the ancient crystal skulls that were not made by human beings, but by, others, it's like a computer, but it's a 3D computer. So our computer is a flat screen. It's two-dimensional. The information comes in two-dimensional. In a crystal skull, we can look at the information. It's like a hologram. It's much better than a computer because we can see it from all sides. It's a little bit like this. In 2D, we can have a square. A square is 2D. But in 3D, we would have a cube. Now, a 3D cube, if I draw it on 2D, then I can draw it like this. That's a cube, but it's only a drawing of a cube in 2D. It's not really a cube. So this here actually is a cube. It's a very fancy cube. It's a cube within a cube within a cube within a cube, which was conceived and made by Simon, Stephanie's son, for those who know them. So this is a 3D cube. This is an illustration of a 3D cube in 2D. We do know, it's happened for me too, that electricity from me gets transmitted to other people, and one can actually see, blue sparks jumping from me to others. But actually activating a crystal is a whole bigger thing. Gebhardt is asking, is there for consciousness the connection between carbon-based and silicon-based life? I'm not sure. I do know that consciousness is tremendously powerful, carbon-based and silicon-based. I just don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to meditate on that, Gebhardt. So much about activation of crystals. Then what comes up for us when we do this work of cleansing is eventually we'll get to the family issues. And we know that the family issues are very close to home. And we talked about the splitting of frequency of the earth from 8 to 200, and also a splitting of people. Now we're already seeing a splitting of people in different frequencies, people of very different, diametrically opposite opinions. And this goes right through families. So when we get to family issues, the way I do it is it's not about who's right or who's wrong. And it's not about the issue itself. It's more about where I look is where is the pattern in the family? What is the feeling, the pattern of It could be a pattern of abuse, emotional abuse, or physical abuse, or sexual abuse, or psychological abuse. It could be a sense of betrayal. It could be a sense of abandonment. Could be a sense of not being seen or heard. Whatever it is, there's that feeling that is being carried from one person to the next over generations and across even relationships with anybody you've ever had children with. And you'll just see it in how that person feels, in the face they make when they're feeling hurt. So when you notice that pattern that I've bought into, and my father's bought into, and his mother's bought into, and the children have bought into, then we can release it. And when I release it, then the whole family can release it. It just sort of fizzles away. In the Mayan lineage that I was taken into, they say that when I heal, the effect goes into the 16th dilution of blood. So anybody who has a 16th dilution of my blood will feel the waves of my healing. There's also the situation of this Hawaiian healer who was asked to come into a mental hospital and be the doctor there. And he went there and he basically locked himself into his room and went through all the files. And he did come out for meals and shared meals with everyone. But he worked on himself. Every time there was an issue with a person, he found that issue within himself and he healed it within himself. And in that way, he healed everyone, and they could close the mental hospital after 3 months of work. So this is the power we have when we want to heal family, maybe because we really want them to be evolving with us on the 21st, or maybe it's also just primarily for our own healing so that we can evolve on the 21st and let go of whoever needs to do something else. So how do you heal that? We can heal it by just sitting in meditation and really focusing on the issue. We can ask a question like, where did that come from? Where is the origin? So that then I can go into that origin and heal that. I can ask a question like, how do I heal it? And the answer may come. Or I can do family constellation work. And family constellation work, even if we're restricted, we can do that within our own 4 walls. We can take little Post-it stickers or little pieces of paper and write down names and just stand on that name in the room and feel what that person felt in regards to the issue. Maybe a name for your grandmother, maybe a name for your uncle, maybe a name for your son or daughter, and stand on these pieces of paper and see how they feel and see how they want to move around in the restriction of your living room, and then just work through it. Talk to that issue, talk to that person within your head, and release it. So we looked at, we're moving to the meditation for the magic box. We've done the smudging, connecting to the soul. We've connected, dropped into our heart, into that heart space, that portal where we connect to the beyond. We've also fallen into the earth and connected to that origin within the earth, that heart energy within the earth. where we become one with the earth and we feel her, we sense her, and we sense that place in the earth where she connects to beyond. We can feel her love, we can feel her moving to a different frequency, a higher frequency, how ready she is to do this. And the next step, and here we are still in ordinary reality, the next step is connecting to the sun, connecting to the heart chakra, that sense of the sun where she is love, where her portal is, her portal to something beyond. And of course, her way of connecting to the beyond is different from mine and the earth. Gebhard is asking, is the moving hot iron core of our planet the heart of the earth? You know, there's this idea about the hot core of the earth is a theory conceived of by scientists. It may be true, it may not be true. So I prefer to not stick to the physical because it's not known. We really need to do very good remote viewing or something like that to really understand where it is. Just go with your intuition. Know that you know. You can sense where it is, and you don't need a physical picture. You need that feeling. You need that feeling of that portal in the earth where, wow, it's a tiny spot. And you go through that tiny spot. You go through that eye in the needle, and a whole world opens up to you. A glorious world, a sparkling world. And the same then when you go through the portal, that eye of the needle in the sun, you find it, you sense it. Yes, you may feel like it's almost like you need to turn to the right when you're in that spot, and it opens up a whole world that seems magical to us, but it's real. It's very, very real. Yeah. And so what we're doing is we're weaving together our own heart with the heart of the earth, with the heart of the sun. And remember, we're still moving from normal reality to a beyond. The next step will be a little different. Yeah. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for doing this work and coming together as a circle for moving to that higher frequency on the 21st. See you tomorrow.